It's time for Recipe of the Day. I hope this weekend morning is finding you well, and it will be finding you extra well if you make today's recipe, which is for a millet skillet. And yes, I named it that, or I came up with the recipe in the first place because I just liked how that sounded, millet skillet. Really, the idea for this recipe came about when I was working with Bob's Red Mill a very long time ago, and they'd given me a whole bunch of different grains to play around with. One of them was millet. I cooked it up. It was fine, like a peel-off kind of salad thing. It's all right. But I know that millet is one of the main components in birdseed, and somehow just having it cooked with a few other ingredients mixed together didn't help me forget that that's what I was eating. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, millet is a small seeded grass. It's gluten-free, little cereal grain crop, and it is one of the things that we see in birdseed quite often, little round hard balls. So yeah, I cooked that up. It was fine. But then I had some leftovers, and the first thing that I did was I made these pancakes out of them. That recipe is on Cook the Story still. It's from a very long time ago, but it is so good. I made these pancakes, and they get really crispy on the bottom. That millet is just this wonderful crunchy thing when it hits a little oil in a pan, you know? And so that is how I got the idea to do this breakfast skillet using the millet. This ends up being kind of like a polenta cake or grit cake, a big one though that you cut into wedges. It's got the millet nice and crispy on the edges, but soft and smooth in the middle parts. And then there's some eggs, ham, and cheese. A wonderful thing to start your day. So to start, you need some cooked millet, either leftover or that you're cooking just for this. And if you have cooked millet, you want 3.5 cups of it. If you have uncooked millet, we are starting with 1 cup, and you are putting that into a medium saucepan with 3 cups of cool tap water and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That comes up to a boil over high heat. Then you reduce that down to a simmer and you cook uncovered until it's tender, stirring it every now and then for about 15 to 20 minutes. Drain it through a sieve and you've got your cooked millet for this recipe. Then you're going to preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. We are starting the millet skillet on the stove, but it's going to finish in the oven. Okay, so while the oven is preheating, get out a big bowl and you're going to combine 2 eggs lightly beaten, 6 tablespoons of milk, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Whisk that up really well. The cornstarch is going to help hold everything together as it cooks. Then you're also adding in 3 ounces of diced ham and a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Stir that up, then heat a tablespoon of olive oil or whatever cooking oil you like over medium heat in an oven-safe nonstick skillet or cast iron skillet. We're looking at about the 10-inch size. So spread the oil out to coat the bottom of the pan, and once it's warmed up over medium heat, like I said, you're going to add your millet mixture and spread it down, kind of press down to smooth it out, and then let it cook for 3 to 4 minutes until it starts crisping and browning underneath. That's when you transfer the skillet to the oven, and that's going to set the eggs. If you want to cook that until the eggs are nice and dry on top and the edges are brown all the way around, it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you sprinkle another 1/2 cup of cheese over top, bake it just until that melts, and take it out of the oven. You're going to want to run a knife around the edge of the pan to loosen it. If you are using your cast iron skillet, just use a regular knife. If you're using a non-stick skillet, you want a plastic knife or a spatula. Get all the way around and under just a little bit, then cut it into wedges, and you can scoop those out to serve. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there, or find it in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/recipeotd. And hey, just a quick note. I'm on a recording hiatus right now, so for the next little while, I'm replaying episodes from the archives, including this one. If you heard me mention a holiday, a season, or something going on in my life that seemed a bit off, that's why. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're enjoying these older episodes. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, cookfor2.us, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.